Good day, Brunswick County. I'm Cathy Altman, President of the Brunswick County Chamber of Commerce and your host of Chamber Highlights. We're building community and supporting business. Today's guests include Kathryn Jacewicz of the Brunswick Beacon, who will discuss the upcoming Volunteer Fair and Expo, Carrie Dewitt Partello of East Coast Moving, and Toby Baccante of Mid-Atlantic Printing. They'll talk about why they are volunteers. And Justin Fulford of Fulford Heating and Air, he'll talk about getting your system ready for the spring and summer season.
Time now for Brunswick Chamber Highlights on ATMC Television Channel 3. Bringing you the best of Brunswick.
Let's first welcome Kathryn Jacewicz. Katie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're here to talk about volunteerism and volunteers, and the Leadership Brunswick County class, which you're a participant in this year, developed an idea of partnering with the Brunswick County Volunteer Center. And so tell us about this upcoming volunteer fair.
We're hosting the Brunswick County Volunteer Fair and Expo on April 19th from 3 to 7. It's going to be at Odell Williamson Auditorium, and it's also going to be in conjunction with the North Carolina Governor's Volunteer Awards that are given out yearly by the Brunswick County Volunteer Center. So that is going to take place in the auditorium at 3:30, but in the event center that's attached to the auditorium, we are going to have a volunteer fair set up with nonprofits from around the county who can come and set up and display a little bit about their organization and search for new volunteers. So that's
which
our
is
hope.
so critical for nonprofits. As nonprofits struggle to provide events and programs for the community, the need for volunteers increases dramatically. And so this is a way to bring in all the nonprofits or all those that would like to participate to one location and to promote their services and what they are able to provide to the community. And I would think there are a lot of our viewers out there that would be very interested. Maybe they're retired or they've moved from another location and they were very active as a volunteer where they're from, and maybe they're wanting to know, how do I go about finding the right nonprofit for myself?
Exactly, and Brunswick County has a great volunteer base already, but you know, in organizing this event, we have found more than 100 nonprofits in the county. So there's something for everyone if you're looking to be involved. There's an organization of every type and looking for people of all skill abilities and levels. So there's really a lot of opportunities that maybe people wouldn't know about. So we're hoping really to showcase those nonprofits in the county.
Now, Kathryn, you're one of the participants in the Leadership Brunswick County. How did you and the team decide on what project to fulfill your program for leadership?
We have a lot of members of nonprofits in our group. We have Vicki LaBelle, who's the executive director of the Cape Fear chapter of the Red Cross, and Van Pearsall, who is with the North Carolina Lands Trust. And working with nonprofits daily, they know firsthand the need for volunteers, for community support. So they really thought that we needed to do something to help the nonprofits who, you know, in this economy are just struggling to survive, let alone struggling for volunteers. So we decided the way to help the most people and to really get out in the community and make the most impact was to put on a volunteer fair and expo. This is something that Brunswick County has done in the years past through the Volunteer Center under the direction of Jane Matthews, but just because of the economy was unable to keep it going. So this is something we really wanted to get behind to really help the most people possible.
Joining us now is Carrie Dewitt Partello and Toby Baccante. Thank you for joining us today. We have Carrie Partello from East Coast Moving and Toby Baccante with Mid-Atlantic Printing. And you are the regional sales manager for Atlantic Printing.
Correct.
And you're the owner and operator of East Coast Moving.
Yes, ma'am.
Very glad to have you both with us today. Our previous guests were talking about volunteerism. That's what we want to talk about today. I know you both have businesses, but you are both very active in the community and specifically with the Brunswick County Chamber of Commerce. You're both ambassadors. What is an ambassador, Carrie?
Ambassador is obviously a member of the Chamber of Commerce that really appreciates what it offers, what it can do for your business as far as growing, and the community involvement and the relationships you can make with the other business owners and members of the chamber.
So, and as an ambassador, I know you both serve as like a liaison, if you will, from the chamber staff, because we have over 700 members. It's very hard for a staff of so few to reach out and actually go and visit all of those members. So that's what you do for us.
Correct.
And you go out and you promote chamber events, the different programs. How has it directly increased or affected your business, Toby?
Well, I think the Chamber allows the opportunity of being an ambassador as exposure. So we have the ability to work with businesses, inform them of the events that are going on in the Chamber, invite them to go to those events, and then, obviously strike up a relationship with those businesses, and inevitably always everybody asks what you do for a living, and it allows us the opportunity to talk about what we do.
And and I also look at it from maybe a member may have had a bad experience or something didn't happen the way they were hoping it would. And I think people are more apt to open up to yourself as an ambassador as to the staff. And so you're able to help us determine, well, they're looking for a specific program that we don't currently have. So we get that feedback, and then we're able to put together in motion those programs or events that they may be wanting, that they need to grow their business. Let's talk about business. East Coast moving. I know with the economy, a lot of people may be moving or may not have moved. However, I do know we have a lot of people moving here to Brunswick County. You move those people from other areas to Brunswick County and vice versa. Tell us about East Coast moving.
We are the local and interstate company here in Brunswick County. We do service from Maine to Florida. We do all of the residential but also commercial moving, and I really am very heavy into networking as far as I want to give back to the people that give to us, through the chamber, through the real estate, through the other affiliates that I meet at these events, and it works out really, really well. They put a name and a face together, and from there, we have a move.
And of course, East Coast Moving, not only are you an ambassador, but you have also volunteered the services of your company. There have been many times that your crew has come and they've helped us prepare, set up, tear down for events, which is phenomenal. Because when you do have such a small staff, how else do these things get done? So we do rely on volunteerism. Toby, let's talk about the printing company for a little bit. How are things out there in the business world?
Not too bad. We're like I said, we put ink on paper, so we actually try and help businesses promote and create a rate of return on their business through the print media. Whether that be to drive people to their website, whether that to drive business to the door through catalog sales, that is primarily what we do. And so business is good. I think, tapping on what Carrie said, being an ambassador and being out there, people want to see you. And that visibility as to what you do, people do relate your business with you on a more personal level. People don't really care how we get it done, just as long as we get it done and that they trust that we're going to get it done.
And finally, let's welcome Justin Fulford. Justin, we're very happy to have you with us today.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm very delighted to be on the show.
So let's talk about Fulford Heating and Air. I know you've been in business for 41 years?
Yes, ma'am.
That is phenomenal, and it's always been in your family.
Yes, ma'am. Going on.
So tell us about how Fulford Heating and Air came to be in existence.
Well, it originated with my great uncle, and then my grandfather bought it from him back in the early 70s. My father is currently the owner. And,
which is Al Fulford.
Is Al Fulford, correct. And I'm looking to be the third generation owner here in the near future.
And recently, the chamber office, we went and visited your office, and you have a lot of family that works. So it's a true family business.
Yes, ma'am.
Your mother is there. Your Uncle Marty is there.
Yes,
I think that's wonderful to be in business for 41 years and it's still a family-owned and operated business. I think that's phenomenal.
Yes, it is, and it means a lot to my customers. A lot of customers really appreciate that it's such a family-involved business because you just don't see that much.
And Justin, I know that Fulford Heating and Air is very involved in the community. You participated in the Oyster Festival last year. You brought in a NASCAR simulator.
Yes, ma'am. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. I think everybody really enjoyed that. So how did you come about getting the NASCAR simulator?
Well, it came through one of our distributors, Ream Heating and Air Products. They were kind of a behind-the-scenes partner with us to allow us to be at the Oyster Festival. And they were the ones that had the resources, the connections to get the simulator. They also sponsor a NASCAR. Kevin Harvick is one of their NASCAR drivers in the Sprint Nationwide. I don't follow too much NASCAR, but one of their sponsors for Kevin Harvick.
Well, I know there was a long line both days at the Oyster Festival waiting to enjoy that simulator. So we appreciate your involvement there.
You're very welcome.
Let's talk about some new products on the market. I know everyone's looking to be more energy efficient or green. Let's talk about some new programs at Fulford Heating and Air.
What we're really focusing on right now is very high efficient heat pump systems. There's a lot of Energy Star green products on the market. We're doing a lot of geothermal, which is becoming...
Geothermal, that's a new buzzword, isn't it? Let's talk about geothermal.
It's becoming very popular. It's basically taking free energy out of the ground, absorbing heat, transferring heat through the ground, which in our area is basically a 62-degree year-round temperature.
The ground temperature is 62 degrees year-round.
Yes, ma'am. And conventional air-to-air type system, you're taking outside 95-degree air in the summertime, which is very hard to put heat into, and in the wintertime, vice versa, being very cold, which is very difficult to take heat from. Where you got a constant 62-degree temperature, you're able to get a lot of heat and absorb a lot of heat into what they call closed-loop wells into the ground, depths of like 250 feet down to 400 feet. Transferring the heat in our area.
And so this is a new product that you're offering to the consumer.
Well, it's not a new product. My grandfather was putting systems in back in the late 70s, the geothermal. What reason geothermal is such a buzz right now is because of our tax credits. The federal stimulus package is giving 35% back. The state is giving us 30%. So that's kind of the overcoming the big initial cost for the geothermal system compared to the conventional type systems. The federal tax credit this year got extended. Last year it was $1,500 up to 30%, but it was reduced but extended. It's 10% up to $300 this year on high efficiency heat pump systems, tankless water heaters, and then there's also manufacturer rebates that are available starting April 15th, tax day, up to $2,400. Our manufacturers have increased their rebates to kind of compensate for the amount of loss with the federal government.
I'd like to remind our viewers to make plans to attend the annual Brunswick Stew and Q Cook-Off April 16th at Planet Fun. The Brunswick County Chamber encourages you to keep our community strong. Buy local, buy Brunswick. If you ever have questions or would like more information regarding today's topics, feel free to contact the Brunswick County Chamber at 754-6644 or visit the Chamber's website at brunswickcountychamber.org. I'm your host, Cathy Altman, and you're watching Chamber Highlights on ATMC-TV.